Bonjour, bonsoir. Dear friends, this is the eve of Christmas. We are at the end of a fantastic year, challenging year, of course, and all of the above. But I'm so excited because we're going to introduce you today a group of phenomenal people, part of our family, part of the circle of real family. And this is what is so exciting in life. I can call them friends, family. We have so much fun together because we've built something very unique together. So we're going to be talking about entrepreneurship, risk, innovation, going beyond your comfort zone and allowing yourself to become yourself. And I think that's a big deal when we go into the holidays. There's always a big, deep, rich moment where we say, am I going to do next year the same thing as I've done this year? Do I want to be the same person? What do I need to work on? What do I need to improve? How do I need to become? How do I want to be portrayed? All those questions. And do I want to be even in the same business as I am? So, dear friends, I'm very pleased to introduce many great people. First and foremost, Melissa Lynch.
Thank you.
Founder of the famous Ambassador Program. Donna Eber, who is extraordinaire, as we will learn, as much as the beautiful peacock and butterfly she's wearing. The irresistible Pam and Lauren Hoffman, who will be with us as well from Beverly Hills and Los Angeles. The irresistible Cassandra, who is from the Midwest of America, almost Kansas. And the incredible Rajmi, who is in Texas. All of us will be talking about our background, life, and how we take a turn and how we become very successful, because those are the people, dear friends, you want to look up to, because they've made a shift, which could have been scary, and they've succeeded in a big way. So we're going to start popping the cork.
Let's do it.
Woo!
My
Look
favorite
at
part.
So Melissa, maybe we start with you because you said it's your favorite part. It's the bubbles.
Yes.
You've been an entrepreneur all your life. I would like to ask you, as a very successful entrepreneur, how does it take to be an entrepreneur, a beautiful lady, a mother, a fabulous wife, to say to yourself, I'm going to take risk and I'm going to do it?
Wow. Well, I started out thinking I wanted to work for other people, and I did that for a long time, and it was great. It was a great experience, but I've always been attracted to new businesses and new ideas and innovation. I got involved in the tech world and have done a lot of things in my life, but the thing that excites me most is taking ideas and turning them into something. And so I'm always attracted to people who are very visionary, like you,
Like all of us.
and creating opportunity that is maybe changing an industry or giving people a new way of changing their lives personally. So I love the entrepreneurial side of this world, and that's really what I'm passionate about.
And you love taking people along the way for their success. And that's
Yes.
where I want to go, because
It can be scary, but it's worth the ride. I love it.
and we got to tell you, when you try to convince someone of an idea, and if this idea were not to work, it's very embarrassing and very difficult to assume that it did not work. So, Melissa, for you, when you have an idea and you want to go for it, what are the key parameters that make you say, this is the right thing, I'm going to go for it? Because that's how you've lived your life.
Yeah, I think you have to have support. And one of the things that I've always done is, before I do anything, I ask the people I care most about, or people that I trust, what do you think of this idea? What do you think about me doing this? And you can't listen to everybody, right? Because some people will say, don't do it. But if you have a support system, I think that's what's most important, because doing things alone is never fun.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I like to create some sort of energy or support around me or the people that I want to do business with, so that we're all in this together. I mean, that's more exciting than trying to go it alone. So that to me is number one. And if you feel like you have that support, I think your chances of success are a lot higher. And I know that when we decided to start this new venture at Boisset with the ambassador program, nobody else really knew what the heck we were doing or
Yes.
understood the opportunity and the potential of it. But it didn't really matter, because once you have that, vision and idea, and you get people who are excited about it, then you're off and running.
Well, and thank you, Melissa, for bringing that up. What is so exciting for everybody to know here all around the world is we started something very different in the wine world. And this is why we have such a beautiful and amazing group of diverse people with us today, is the fact that when I met Melissa, she came to visit and say hello and meet and have a glass of wine for something totally different. And at the end of the time together, we said, let's start this. And I really recommend every one of us in life to always reflect on what is important. In other words, we thought we had an idea that could transform the wine world and empower people to build a business of their own and still be part of the wine business and still be part of the energy of the vineyards to the winery, which are very costly matters to do on your own. And even if you have the money to do it, do you actually even want to do it? I'm not sure I would at this stage. So, Melissa, explain what we started, and then we'll tell you Donna's story and we'll ask her to tell us about her entrepreneurial life.
Yes. Well, basically what we decided to do was open up the opportunity of becoming part of the wine world to anybody who had a passion for wine. And the wine industry, as we know, is an exciting, fun industry, but it's not easy to break into unless you
Yes.
have either a lot of education, or maybe you stock shelves with wine and work your way up from the bottom, or
limitless budget
or
to buy a vineyard and a winery.
start exactly. How do you build a winery? Yeah. How do you become a millionaire? Start with 10 in the wine. Now that's not even true. You can't even do that. So this idea of allowing people to be part of the wine world by creating their own business, sharing wines, just like we do in our tasting rooms, but taking that experience out into their own communities and sharing the wines with people, and then being able to earn an income if people, of course, love the wines and want to purchase the wines. Our ambassadors basically are an extension of our tasting rooms. And we're fortunate to have some of the most historic, iconic wineries in the Boisset portfolio.
Yes.
So it was very exciting for me to be able to put together, with your support and vision, a really exciting platform that's powered by people. But we also have each of our ambassadors has a beautiful website and things and tools to really bring the whole experience to life for their customers and their clients and friends. So it's been fun, and
dear
we've had
friends,
amazing success stories from it.
Exactly. I want to tell you, I was very lucky, as we all know here, to be born into wine. So my parents started. Without this, we wouldn't be where we are today. And I certainly would not have had that opportunity, would they not take the risk themselves to really open the gate of the house and the door to bring people into our home and taste wine with them and build our first iteration of the ambassador program. So I really want to commend you, Melissa, because we took this idea 9 years ago or 8 years ago. We could say 10, but it takes a while before you get an idea to actually put it together. And we brought an amazing, diverse group of people. So the fun part for me, and that's where we maybe have a question for Dana Ebert, is when we brought a group of people together with a diverse background, to with diverse religious belief, colors of skins, to origin, to
Education.
education, and everybody are together around the table enjoying wine, and it brings the
Mhm.
world together. And that's personally what excites me the most. So, Donna, big question for you. I met Donna, and it's not her fault. We know there's 85% water in a glass of wine. She was in the water business,
Mhm.
and she was coming to get her fabulous husband, who was really very closely running the wine program at Raymond in the tasting room. She picked him up one night,
Mhm.
and luckily I was there at the right time, and I saw this charming lady coming, and I said, Donna, I've known you for a few years. Your charm, your talent, and your charisma is meant to be part of what we're doing. And what did you say, Donna?
Absolutely. Whatever John Charles asks, you always say yes. You never say no to
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
But the cool part, though, if I may say to Donna's defense, is she said, Jean-Charles, I'm not sure. It's not necessarily my background, and it's
Yes,
not necessarily, what
exactly.
I was trained to do for the last few decades of my professional life. And she's been very successful, as well as her husband, into what they were doing.
Mhm.
And Donna, maybe you want to explain that as a transition and what went through in your mind. And
I think as I tried to explain to John Charles was that I never was in sales. I really didn't like the sales people at our company at Nestle. They always got the trips, they got rewards, they got everything. I'm an accountant. And I said, how can an accountant be successful in the wine business doing sales? It doesn't make sense to me. I didn't think it could happen. But I learned it's really about your people skills and learning to reach out to people, building relationships, making new friends. And that was something that I was used to doing because I was a trainer. So to me, it was kind of a natural transition, even though I try to forget about my accounting background and try to encourage people to purchase the wines they like rather than force them into sales. I
and
don't use
and
the sales
how,
word.
Donna, explain to all of us, because it's pretty amazing. Donna, dear friends, is one of our most successful, phenomenal. She built an amazing business for herself, her family, her mother, her charming husband, who is with us today as well. We love Tom, and all of us. And can you imagine, at the peak of your career, saying, I accept to shift and to make that shift
Mhm.
happen? How did you convince yourself that it was not anymore accounting, but it was people? Because they're two different things.
Mhm.
Your friends are the numbers,
Right, right.
and then it become live organism. And how did you succeed to do that? Explain us the process, because so many of us are looking into doing something else
Mhm.
and joining the ambassador program, of
Right,
course.
right. There is a fear factor. I will be honest. It was fearful for me, but I like to take a challenge and I like to always beat that challenge. And so even though I was fearful, I think that's one of the key things that people, why they don't want to join our program, because they're afraid of failure.
Yes.
But really, there's no such thing as failure. If
Yeah.
you're drinking good wine and you're having fun and you're meeting people, how could that be a failure? Whether you're number one or number 200 or whatever number you are in the company, you know what? It's all about meeting people, having fun, and not worrying about the numbers. And it happens when it happens and you least expect it. If someone would have told me when I retired from Nestle after 37 years of working there,
Nestle does
water,
right?
that I would be in the
Ooh.
wine business, I would have told them they were definitely on drugs or something, because there was no way I would ever get into the wine business. And I think I got into a family business, a family relationship. It's really about being part of a big family. What John Charles provides for us is being part of a amazing family with Melissa.
Well, and
the
vice
team.
versa, Donna. So maybe one more question, maybe differently phrased, is to all of us, what makes you want to bring more people into this as well, because you're very contagious
Mhm.
as a phenomenal personality, besides the beautiful peacock colors and the butterfly symbol of transformation. uh, it's not easy
Mhm.
for any one of us to eventually go outside of what we believe we can do.
Mhm.
So tell us more about that, please.
I think just thinking outside the box and seeing that there's a future, something else. You don't know what it is, so just go for it. You know, it
Yes.
happens when it happens, and people get frustrated, people get impatient, and it's all about patience, endurance, never giving up, never say I can't do anything, staying positive, and it happens. I just can't tell you. If I ever would have thought it would happen to me, it's beyond my wildest dreams. So never give up on yourself or your friends. Make new friends, get involved, and
Mhm.
it happens. That's all I
Yeah.
can say. I guarantee you it'll happen.
Well said. And don't you think, Melissa, everybody needs wine anyhow?
Well, they do. And what's great
Mhm.
about being an ambassador is you do it at your own pace.
Right.
So this is not a full-time job. We have doctors, we have stay-at-home dads and moms and all kinds of
Lawyers.
lawyers, you name it, people from all walks of life who just love wine
Mhm.
and they're able to monetize their passion for
Mhm.
wine, but in a fun way, like being social with their friends and again, doing tastings or just sharing the wines with other people. Not everybody can make it to wine country. So, and visit our beautiful tasting
That's
rooms. So
true.
it's really lovely that we have the opportunity to give people an opportunity to taste these wines, because many of them never make it outside of our tasting rooms. We make small production wines that, we only make a few hundred cases of it, and you won't see it on store shelves.
Well,
so this is like visiting wine country without having to leave home.
Mhm.
Isn't it this very dynamic, harmonious, and familial
Mhm.
number 24 that we're having
Yeah.
right now?
Yes.
Donna, I know it's one of your favorite wines.
Yes.
2016, as we love to say in wine, disgorged a little on the later side.
Mhm.
Donna, why is this wine so special?
Well, I love, number one, I love bubbles, obviously. But
Thank
I
you.
think, to me, it's also about the story of the numbers. And I love telling the stories about what every JCB number holds, behind it, the meaning behind it. And JCB 24 is an exclusive one through the Wine Ambassador Program. Of course, it's from the Carneros area. And it really means that first there was number 12 for us, and then double that is 24 for us. But really, it is about family.
Yeah.
It really means family and extending your family. And that's why, to me, this is one of my
Well,
favorite
talking
bottles.
about extending the family, we have dear friends, as you can see, they're from fabulous Southern California. They are great friends, Pam and Lauren Hoffman. And they were in the fashion business and still at the same time, and real estate. And it's a prime example of a great couple who elected as a family.
Mhm.
They have children, they have other wonderful occupation, and they're very successful in everything they do and touch. And they've elected to run amazing wine tastings and wine programs. So Pam and Lauren, what made you want to do this? Tell us.
Well, cheers, first of all.
Well,
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, so Jean-Charles, it was sort of something that landed in our lap. We weren't even really looking to be in the wine business. We loved wine. We had just built a new home, and we have a big cellar that was empty. And Cassandra, who happens to be on this call with us, was visiting Pam for an event, and saw the empty wine cellar and seized the moment to say, we need to talk. And from that conversation, I spent the first year with Boisset spending more time with Cassandra than I did with Pam.
Well, how many of us can have such a fabulous intellectual threesome? I mean, you're a lucky man.
Love it.
Well, and Lauren and Pam, maybe before we move to Cassandra, of course, what you've been so successful at are doing things differently in your life in general. Maybe you want to walk us through as your success from fashion to retail to real estate to wine now, and how do you things so differently in wine, and how do you find avenues of how you do things that bring such success?
Jean-Charles, my background is in computer science.
I know.
And I worked as a software engineer, and I realized after working in the defense industry that I didn't want to be behind a computer. And I got into the tech staffing world for 30 years doing business development. And I got trained how to do prospecting and new business development. And honestly, I had a passion for wine, but I just took those principles that I learned about cold calling and prospecting, and I applied it to wine. And I really think it doesn't matter what you're selling as long as you have a passion for it and you're motivated. And I'm very motivated in the things I do. And we're just fanatical about Boisset, and mostly the wines. Number two, the lifestyle, but about the Boisset family.
Thank you. Well, as you know, you're part of a family, which makes it even more fun and exciting. So you had a great mentor. Her name is beautiful Cassandra. She's wearing tiger prints today. Ooh, horizontal. Don't we love it? Cassandra, you have a charming husband that we love, wonderful children, and you had a very big corporate life, big success in the corporate world. And in addition to doing that, you decided to do what we're doing and to build an amazing team and to really have the talent to see potential in people. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate that. And, hello to Lauren and Pam and Rashmi. So cool to see everyone. But yes, so for me, I'm kind of like Lauren, in that corporate world, and was kind of trained by the best of the best out there. I'm 20 years old, when I started in corporate America, and I'm working for one of the largest companies in the world, traveling the world. 1 week they have me at, in distribution, really understanding how that works. Then we're over in manufacturing. Then we go to, a label plant, and learning it from the top to the bottom. And it was just a great training ground with great mentors. And I learned like every industry, and just kept going from there with so many different companies. But as I say, life happens. And my life happened moment, those things that you can't predict, is when, I met my husband and we got married, wanted to have children, and our son was born premature. And, I looked at him in that incubator, he was barely 3 pounds. And I'm like, you know what? I love my career. I love all those experiences I've had, but it's over. I want to, really stay with this child right now and see what's going to happen. And glad I did, because he was in the hospital for 6 months, and had a lot of medical issues, and I was able to be there. So I just became a stay-at-home mom in an instant, but always knew I'd go back to work and do something. And as he got older and, received those diagnoses, he's on the spectrum and he lost his hearing in the hospital with antibiotics. And, we just had this journey that kept happening. I knew, even though I loved everything that I did in the corporate world, it was a lot of business process, running companies, building teams, technology, all of that. It was like, I really have the passion for being an advocate, for my son, as well as other kids in that community. So that kind of catapulted me into that. and, you know, working with a lot of organizations that help support my son and really help other children with special needs and with the school district, and just being really involved in lots of committees and things like that. But there was still something missing. And so I said, you know what, I want to do something for myself, but I want something that follows more of my passion versus education. And at that point, I said, you know what did I love a lot about my wonderful career? And we've kind of touched on that subject. I loved, you know, hanging out with people from work around that table, dinner table, getting to know each other, drinking wine together, sharing those stories, and just having a good time. So I said, I wonder if I could find something in wine. And, you know, I've known about direct sales and the opportunity, and it's flexible, and it, you know, allows you to, you know, work with in your own income, build your own income. And so I just Googled it and I found Boisset. And, you know, I researched.
Luckily we came up.
You came up. I
God,
researched.
we hit it the jackpot that day.
Yes, I did. And I researched
Well, we
it. The
did.
more I researched it, the more I was like, oh my gosh, this story is amazing with this family. And then I love innovation. You know, everything I've done in my career has been about innovation. And like Melissa said, it's like, if it's not created, I love to create it. So, you know, I when I saw that innovation, I said, you know what, this is for me. So my next Google was wine ambassador in LA. Michonne popped up and I called her and just said, hey, I'm joining this. And here we are. And my passion is really about, you know, helping others come into this, you know, industry, being an ambassador and supporting them in their success, you know, helping build training programs, just being able to support the team of people, whether they're coming into this to, you know, learn about wine or just wine education, or they want to build a great business like Lauren and Pam, or, you know, it's just their lifestyle. I want to be able to support that for them and help them be successful in whatever it is they want to do. So it gave me an incredible opportunity, you know, to still be a board member, help children with no limits for deaf children, you know, be a mom and, you know, hang out and enjoy wine. It's fabulous.
And you ended up relocating.
Yes. And yes. My husband and I, we were living in Santa Monica for 20 years. We were there both for work. And, you know, COVID happened and it was just, oh my gosh, like we're at home and, you know, my son was having a lot of challenges and, you know, that like you said, everything happens for a reason, like, and it's changed.
That's right.
Fearful. And having been there 20 years, and then I was like, but I have to get my son some help, right? This isn't working right now for us. All that work that we've done for him, it's just not working. I'm seeing him digress. That's not good. We need to be around family at this time because we can't get out and keep that lifestyle that he had. So we just decided, you know what, let's move. And, you know, if it wasn't for Boisset and being able to work at home, you know, I wouldn't have been able to make that move, you know, because normally in corporate, they tell you where you're going to go. You don't get to say this, you know, where we're going. And my husband was fortunate enough to his job transition to be working at home with his company. And they were like, yep, we're fine. You can live wherever you want to. We'll support it, you know. And so we had this incredible opportunity to move and be close to family. And my son is doing amazing.
Yay!
Well, let's drink to that.
Yes.
Cheers. Well, and you introduced us to the fabulous Rajmi, right?
Yes.
Is it how it happened?
No.
Not exactly, but Rajmi got sent by all the gods of the world, dear friends, all of them, specifically the beginning of all religion, you know, it's Hinduism, as we all know, this is where we come from, and namaste. And, you know, Rajmi, as you really well said, Cassandra and Pam and Lauren, and obviously Donna, you've all been very successful in many other business. And Rajmi, you have a big, successful, you know, tech business, and as well other businesses that you've started. And you said, wine is kind of what I want to do in addition to it. So Rashmi, tell us a little bit about that and what you found maybe being the most rewarding in wine for you.
Well, first of all, thank you so much, Jean-Charles and Melissa, for inviting me and including me on this. So cheers. This is so exciting. I have to take a sip.
Oh yeah, take a sip. This
We-
is, by the way,
Here.
this is delicious.
What are we drinking, really?
Oh,
Calistoga Raymond,
district.
This is our district.
yeah.
This is another one.
2016.
It's a blend of all the beautiful districts.
Yes, yes, yes.
Mm.
I will have to dig into that. My journey or my passion for wine started in technology. You know, when my 30 years plus traveling all over the world, what I really looked forward to was my wine and food experiences. You know, I mean, to me, that was the most incredible thing. Everything that I was doing through the day didn't matter as long as I had this great experience to look forward to. So, you know, I always say that technology world helped me uncork my passion for wine and my wine lifestyle. So when Cindy Tysinger, you know, who Jasadi, they do our website, and she's a dear friend, and we're also women-owned businesses. She invited me to lunch, and when she introduced me to Boisset, I was like, you know what? It sounds great, but I've just started Affinity, my technology company. So I really don't have time for it. But, you know, knowing that it was my passion, you know, she just continued kind of, you know, teasing me along the way. And she had Bubbles and Beauty get together. And of course, you know, they were serving Boisset bubbles. So the first bubbles they gave me was the JC, was a delicious JCB wine. She poured it and I looked at it and it was pink. And I'm like, I wonder what this is. I took one sip and I always say, they had me at the 69.
Well, that's a good way to have you.
I know. And I so the rest is history, you know. You know what, you know, I love everything in life that I do, you know, be it my businesses, my family, my friends. And what Boisset has given me is the opportunity, like all of my fellow friends and partners here on this call have said, you know, it's given me the opportunity to follow a passion that I love. You know, when I started, I thought, well, if I just buy wine and I get paid for that, wouldn't that be fun? Well, you know what? It's been, in the last 7.5 years, it's been so much more. I've had the opportunity to create great friendships with Jean-Charles, with Gina, with Melissa, everyone that's on this call.
Thank you.
My partners in wine, I can't tell you how much I love them. And, you know, all of our ambassadors and our clients, you know, it gives us something fun. Like when people ask me, what do you do, Rashmi? And I go, let me ask you something. Do you enjoy wine? And they go, oh, yes. I said, well, that's what I do. I do. And when you see their face light up and the look of amazement, you know, I'm sure that's the look I had when I, you know, because when I tasted the 69, I was looking for Cindy. I'm like, I'm in. Whatever you need me to do, I'm in. You know, so you know, fast forward, we have a great team. I love the fact that I had more ambassadors to start off with than I had clients. So, you know, that's been the journey. And all I can say to you all is thank you so much. It has been incredible.
Thank you, Rashmi. But additional question here quickly. You were in Texas. How does this amazing program allow you to access wine as well? Because, you know, the challenge is not always to find the wines you want to find and consistently to be able to get the supply directly from the winery, specifically from Texas. So has it been for you and all your Wine Society members a great way to get wine?
Oh, absolutely. You know, and I don't even look at this as an obstacle. I look at it as an opportunity. You know, so here in Texas, we have the opportunity to bring
not only domestic, but import wines as well to our clients. And Boisset allows us to do that. I mean, we have these beautiful wines that come from Burgundy, and we can bring these wonderful wines from France and from California to our clients here in Texas. I mean, there's a huge opportunity here. And, we're just, I just always tell everyone, we're just at kind of the tip of the iceberg. We just need to connect with the wine lovers and the wine collectors and, do it at your passion level, because if you're passionate about what you're sharing, they're going to be passionate and want to know more about it. So
That's
it's really, the opportunity is there. And for the rest of the US, I think, we need to look at places where we can also bring some of our beautiful import wines, because I think that's a great opportunity that we have. And I just want to make this one comment. Right now there are wines that we were seeing some shortages, but what I love about being part of Boisset, and I thank you, Jean-Charles, for doing this, is that you open up new opportunities, new wines to be brought into our portfolio, and that just gives
Thank
us
you.
an incredible opportunity and continues to give that opportunity to us.
Well, thank you, Rajmin. And maybe let's go back to Cassandra for a second. Cassandra, you mentioned something so important.
Mhm.
And I know a lot of people, and Donna, similar for you in a very large corporate world, Nestle, one of the biggest consumer good company. Cassandra, you were for the biggest firm as well. Besides your children, your husband, your family, moving, you were in LA, very successful in what you were doing when we first met. What advice would you have for everyone to convince them to move sometimes from corporate, those big jobs that you have, to a more entrepreneurial role that you do today with so much success? Because it is scary. It could be a financial constraint. It could be a big risk. It could be, a big leap. It could be, a lot of doubts, a lot of tension in the family. So how did you deal with that? And how would you recommend we all deal with it?
Yeah, it is very scary. I say that to everyone. It's not a easy decision to make or a light decision to make. But if you're passionate about it, I always talk about passion. Is this something that you would do even if you wouldn't get paid for it? Right? Would you be out there really doing this and getting that hustle on and, really working at it and staying in it? And, if that's your answer, if it's something that really grips you to that core, then you just have to do it. And I share with people all the time, one of my favorite things that I've always learned is, get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because if you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing and you're not going in the right direction.
Well said.
And so if you are comfortable in that position, and you're there, you're just waiting to retire or just waiting to die, that's comfort, and you're not growing and you have a lot left to do. So really focus on, what you are passionate about, what brings you joy. And that's what I love about this opportunity, because wine, I will never, ever learn enough about wine, learn everything about wine. And that's why I love it, because, there's a lot of careers that you learn everything about, and then you're like, okay, I'm kind of bored now. But with this industry, you will never learn it all. And then the people, on our wine influencers team, we have about 400 people, and it's just going to get bigger and it's going to grow. And I'm going to constantly meet new people and, be able to work with some amazing people with different backgrounds. And, if you're willing to take that risk, then it opens you up to so many more possibilities in life. And it is scary. I say to people, don't pretend it's not, don't fool yourself and say, I'm going to do it when I'm not afraid or I don't have fear, because that day will never come. You just have to jump in and, make it happen. Use that passion to propel you forward.
Ooh, I like that. Use that passion to propel you forward.
Uh-oh,
I
you're
have
gonna hear
something
that a
to
lot.
Yeah, please, Donna.
I have something to add, because I totally agree with what Cassandra just said. It is about the passion. And when your passion's not there, And like when I left Nestle, and retired, and I went back as a contract worker, my passion had gone. And I could tell I was traveling too much. I was working around the clock, 24/7, 7 days a week, and my passion was definitely gone. And that's when this opportunity was given to me. And I said, well, I'm going to try to see if this is what my passion is bringing me. I didn't know that this would be a passion of mine. I really didn't. But I took the leap and the passion came, and people will see me talk and then they can't shut me up. They're like, oh my God, you're too passionate about this. And I go, I know, but I love teaching people about things that I'm learning, because I was never trained in the wine business. And every day I'm learning something new about the wine business. So to me, I just have to say exactly what Cassandra said. You have to have passion.
Well said, Donna. And Cassandra, in addition, your husband is very supportive, Donna as well. Obviously, he's in the wine world as well. And I want to go back to Pam and Lauren, because Cassandra, you've introduced us to new, very close friends of ours. And we love Pam and Lauren. And maybe we should ask the question to Pam this time directly, because what is so exciting, dear friends, is as well as a family, when you could do something together.
Yes.
And Pam and Lauren are symbiotic together. This is one of the most synergistic relationships you'll find. They do tastings, events together. And I believe, knowing them very well, that it brought them even closer together through this journey. So Pam, do you want to elaborate on that? Because you both had different, very successful career. And today, in addition to all what you do that together.
Well, I love the fact that we get to work together, and a lot of
Can you hear her?
work together, and we get to work together in the wine industry. I mean, how beautiful is that? And we love the wine, and we get to do it together. And honestly, it's not work. I say we work together, but it honestly is just a date night. We say, what are we doing? Where's our tasting? It's a date night. It gets me out because I've been stay-home mom. And we have fun. We really, really, truly have fun. We meeting new friends. It's just so cool. It's honestly like the first year Lauren was doing it with Cassandra, and about halfway through I started to say, wow.
Did you get jealous of Cassandra?
A little bit. A little. I want to be in her shoes. So, and
We all do.
that's when it was time for me to, get uncomfortable to be comfortable. It was time for me to be uncomfortable, to be away from home, so that I can go be with Lauren and do something together. Because most couples don't want to work with their husband because you're either behind a desk, behind a computer, in a car, or doing something that they don't want to be doing. But we're doing something that we are very passionate about, that keeps coming up, that word passion. And we're all constantly learning. And I'm going to have Lauren chime in, because I know how you feel about this.
Well, and Lauren, isn't it a good therapy for couples to do things together once in a while? Isn't wine the best psychologist
Absolutely.
of the family?
Well, one of the things that when we're doing tastings, what's a common denominator is that our guests, they just say, you guys are having so much fun. They see how much we enjoy what we're doing, the hospitality that we bring, the experience. I mean, our job is to bring fun to people. Yeah. And Jean-Charles, I just want to acknowledge you, because you're the kind of leader that's so hands-on and so involved. And several years ago, we were in Napa with you, and you said to really focus on JCB, and that's our favorite. JCB wines are our favorite, and we did a major shift. And we were focused more on the lower entry-level wines, and now we're all about JCB, and we're just having a great time.
Yeah, an incredible success. Well, thank you for that. And you know what I'm excited about it is as well that Pam and you are so close together. And you really inspire other couples as well on how you do things. And even our children see you together. I mean, dazzling from the first time we met you to today. And so thank you so much for being who you are. And Cassandra, for bringing us together, as well as, Rajmi, for joining the world we in, because, dear friends, what is so exciting? And I'm going to ask that question now to Melissa after many years together, looking back, is to have such an amazing group of friends. Because in life, I mean, yes, we all want to have some financial reward. I assume it's important because we want to be at a better place than we were before, but it's not an end in itself whatsoever. And we all know it's not the solution to happiness. And Melissa, as you reflect on, look at the great friends we have and
I
the
know.
amazing group of people we've put together.
Well, what comes to mind, how we started the whole Wine Unites Us
Yes.
hashtag, which, really started at a difficult time in our country, and really wanting to give everyone a seat at the table, no matter what your
And
background.
congratulations, you really pushed that. It was so exciting.
Well, with Cassandra's help, who was a mentor to me, and a lot of other people, I just love the fact that we are all from different places, different backgrounds. We've become friends. I am inspired by a lot of the things that you are all doing, because honestly, we kind of created a platform, but you're all taking that and turning it into something that fits your lifestyle and your own, world and connections and friendships. But I feel like I have a huge family, this other family. And like I said in the beginning, it's all about having a support system around you. So thank you all for believing in this idea and jumping in and having fun with it, because we're just having so much fun.
And we just started.
And we need more people. We need more
Yes.
ambassadors. We have a couple thousand right now, but we want to grow, and we want to have more and more people that are part of our
Definitely.
world, and bring joy to other people's lives.
So if many of you with us tonight, we are in December, it's the time to call us, to join us, to chat with us, to be in the chat, or to email us. You'll have all the information as well today. Be part of something. I really believe, as you said, in life, what is so exciting is to be part of energy, to be part of a magnetic force that goes beyond purely what we can do alone. We talk about the exponential term as what does it mean to be exponential? And we are, as couples, whatever choice we make, we are as religious groups, we are as society, we are as community. But, wine brings us together. And the cool part, as Rajmin, originally from India, Cassandra, obviously from LA, and way back, all the way from our world of the old world, and Lauren and Pam, where you from? And, where we all from, we promote our wines all around the globe in every continent. And I'm so excited that I've been fortunate, to live every continent at the dinner table, the lunch table, the breakfast table, because remember, you got to drink wine for breakfast too.
Oh yeah, we do that.
It's breakfast somewhere around the world.
That's right.
That wine brings us together, and it's part of everything. So maybe, Donna, another question for you in a way is, where do you see, as you live in the wine country, we together here in Napa, same question for you, Melissa, is where do you see the evolution of wine in that? And I know it's a big question, but, we're very traditional how we approach it. And at the same time, we're building such momentum and building people's cellar. We just interviewed last week one of your great friend, one of the top golfers of the world. We've interviewed another friend of yours this year, the top baseball player in the world.
Mhm.
You know, you bring such energy around it.
Mhm.
Tell us about how you see it going from Sosoon Valley to Napa Valley
I know.
to the world of wine.
It's just growing so big. I mean, considering when I started, we had 20 wines in our program, 20. And we were still successful selling 20 wines. Now I just look at our current wine list and see 150. And not only love that variety, but I love that we're bringing back some of the other wines like French Colombard and some of the different wines and the French wines that I have so many people requesting French wines now that we can offer more and more wines and varietals and everything. So to me, the wine world is just growing. And especially
It's all about experimentation,
yeah,
right?
it's all about trying to get
Getting out of your
people
comfort
to-
zone.
Yeah, get out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
When people say I only drink Chardonnay, it's like, no, I need you to try this. I need you to try something different. And getting them to grow to taste different wines. And we have so many to let them graduate to.
Thanks to you.
Well,
Yeah.
to all of us and dear friends, as you could see, we at the eve of celebrating, of course, Christmas and soon New Year's. It's so exciting. When you think about it, we did not know each other 10 years ago.
I feel like we've known
And
each other
now-
for a long time.
I know.
A long time
Say that
now.
again,
I
Melissa.
feel like we've known each other a lifetime,
That's
but
right.
it's only been 10 years because you
well,
changed my life.
which is so
Yeah.
exciting.
I
Dear friends,
Mwah.
you know what it's about.
Mwah,
And
mwah,
Pam and
mwah.
Lauren, Cassandra,
We want to virtually hug you.
Rajmi, we hug you. And dear friends, I hope all of you around the world feel the energy. This is the intention of creating
Mhm.
a gift that is Mother Nature here to
Mhm.
offer to us, because it's a gift. You know, as much as we can think of it as a product, I think it's an offering. I think it's an opportunity for all of us to enjoy, to vibrate from it, to live from it, to, in many ways, meet other people thanks to it, and to be different through it. So, to the world of wine, to Rajmi, Cassandra, Lauren, Pam, and thousands of ambassadors that are part of a family, I hope you all feel around the world the energy that you should join. And if you haven't, think about it. And if you wish, don't abandon what you do. Keep doing what you do, but be part of the wine world.
Yeah, it's easy. It doesn't really cost anything, and you get to reap a lot of great perks and have fun with us.
And you're part of another great group of friends, because what is so great is to be able to really say we friends together. And it takes a lot to be able to say that. Unless you spend time with people, unless you enjoy moments with people, you cannot say you have friends. So when you all reflect at the time of holidays, count how many friends you have, how many friends it's important to have, how many more you wish to have, and how many people you can count on, and how many you can have a glass of wine with.
Lots. Luckily, I have so many now. Thanks to you. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
We miss you guys.
Oh
And,
yeah, I'm looking forward to
holidays.
seeing everyone.
Happy
And you know
holidays.
what? We need to have the final word to Miss Lynch, because without her and Dylan, who is with us, and Patrick today, and Jen, and, you know, Ashley, who is just delivering
Oh, is she?
a new baby very shortly.
Okay, I thought I
We
missed some news.
started the JCB Live that we on at the beginning of the pandemic. It was March 17th. It was Gina's birthday. Many kisses, my love. And it was St. Patrick's Day, and we started the live, and being able to be all connected together as well. So I think it's all meant to happen. We cannot control everything, dear friends, but what we could control is what everybody said tonight. Take a risk, measure it, go for it. Most of the time, as we just explained, we'll be in a better place than if you hadn't taken it. Happy holidays.